Alright, hey everybody, welcome to a UVHM speedrunning tutorial. This is for the UVHM72 variant with, where we're going to be ungeared. We're going to have the bare minimum start and just kind of start from bare bones and see what we can get throughout the run to keep RNG in there and make it a little interesting. There is a geared version that you can use, that you can run, where you can have whatever you want, but it is separate from what I'm teaching here. This is the more common version, this is the more fun version in my opinion, but it depends on who you're doing and how much you like it. Today, I'm going to be teaching on Axton because he's the most mechanically challenging and he's the one I'm going to need to go the most in-depth for. Though I'll probably have some footage of all 6 characters just to kind of show what you're looking for in the run and the playstyle you're kind of going for through all of them. But anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have below the video in the comments, I'm going to have a link to the speedrun.com section of Borderlands 2, and it's going to have all the links to all the files that you're ever going to need for all these saves in the resources tab, and I'll have that linked for everybody if you'd like to try this out, if you'd like just to look around at the files and all that, and everything like that. So, if you're on PC, the first thing you want to do is just download that file, and then place it into your saves folder so that it shows up like this. They're named speedruns like this. You'll see I've got them kind of littered everywhere, it depends on the date, but anyways, once you've got it pasted in there, you'll want to click on it, and just instantly reset the progress. No matter what you're doing, you want to reset the progress every time you start, because it makes sure that you're going to be at the very start of the run and you won't have any progress made. So once you've done that, just select it and we'll continue. Alright, the timer is going to start right when you start moving. You can wait for claptrap, you can kind of sit here for a while if you really want. Just start the timer right when you start moving, and before you take any other actions.
Over here.
So, first thing you want to do is you're going to want to run forward and trigger claptrap to start moving forward as soon as possible. Second thing you want to do is you're going to want to set up infinite ammo. I'm going to explain how and why after I go over what gear we're going to start with. 1 second. Now, we're starting with a Vladov rocket launcher because it allows us to have infinite ammo due to this consumes reduced ammo per shot property on it once we merge here in a second. And we're starting with a perfect parted flying Lasco because it's a guaranteed drop in every playthrough, so it's a pretty fair way to say, here's a weapon that you could have gotten in any playthrough. You could have farmed this perfect part 1 real easy. It's pretty much the fairest start in the community's mind. Also, it consumes only 1 ammo, and it's a pretty solid weapon simply through that. So, what is weapon merging and how does this get us infinite ammo? I said there was that consumes reduced ammo per shot on this Vladov rocket launcher, and basically it's a -1 in the code that you can actually move on to other weapons. Because if you'll notice, when I shot that shot right there, it didn't actually consume any ammo. So we're kind of merging that shot onto everything else, and since it's not a Vladov launcher, it won't actually consume that. So we'll fire this 2 more times, because it's the second shot of every fresh mag, and then every 3rd shot after that. And then we're going to just swap to this next weapon. But before it actually pulls this weapon out like this, you'll want to open your menu. So once it starts moving, you just open your menu like this. As long as you swap and open your menu before the second weapon shows up, then all you gotta do is switch their positions. And now, no ammo consumption. None at all. But if I switch back to Vladov, and then back out, it will continue consuming ammo as well. There's one other situation where you'll lose it, and you'll probably run into it at least 1 time in your speedrun career, and that's if an enemy pulls it out as well. So you want to watch out for enemies with Vladov launchers as well. So, just gonna merge here real quick. So we have our infinite ammo, and then I'm gonna go over Axton's main movement skill here. So basically what the thought is, you can trigger Onslaught with your turrets. Onslaught is a skill that increases your movement speed by 60%. It's supposed to be just on kills, but your turrets can trigger it in a weird way. As long as you have Gemini here, where you can have 2 turrets out, then you can do this. So no matter what, this capstone and this skill right here are absolutely vital to Axton. So what you want to do is you want to throw your turret, throw your second turret, and reclaim it, and that will instantly kill them. And now we're running pretty quickly. So that's your basic goal throughout the run. That's your basic way of moving throughout the run. Definitely get practicing on that because it can be kind of tricky getting the timing down, but it's just throw your first turret, throw your second turret, and then as soon as you can, just recall them, and you should kill them. If you don't, you were probably a little too slow. Alright, so now the first thing you want to do, if you'll notice here, there's a camp over here. That's the next goal for the run. That's the next area of interest. And basically, what we want to do is we have to wait for Clap to come all the way down the hill before we're able to actually deal with them. At all, pretty much. So we've got a little bit of time to deal with these 2 piles right here that can actually give you some good drops. And if you look right here, I actually got really lucky and got a shield. So getting something like this is extremely important through the run. Make sure you check these piles because you never know when you're going to get a sniper, a launcher, a shield, a class mod, something that would be very, very useful for the run. Alright, so I'm just going to come over here and grab the shield. It's pretty nice. And now we just kind of wait for Claptrap to show up, and for the mini-map that's right here, for the objective to change. And once it gets kind of close here, you can just check your turrets out. And you can just kind of kill them pretty quick. Once they're all dead, just kind of recall everything. And you're going to want to run all the way over here. There are 2 exceptions to start here, and I'll go over them in just a moment. Once we come over here. So you want to grenade jump up on top of this wall, and then check this vendor right here. Basically what you're looking for when you do this is you're looking for... Alright, hang on. Every single character, you're going to want at least 2 snipers at bare minimum, and they need to be preferably Jacobs. Basically, sniper rifles have 100% bonus crit on them just by default. Every sniper rifle at least has that 100%, no matter what. Otherwise, the Jacobs rifles are going to have 160% just by default, because that's the way Jacobs weapons works. They have higher crit values than any other weapon in the game. So you'll kind of want to scan this for a couple snipers. Hopefully you get some. It doesn't look like I got any in here, because you can actually merge that crit onto your Lasco here and do a lot of extra damage. So it's the same basic way I did it with the Vladov, it's just you do it with snipers. You'll also, on 4 out of the 5 characters here at this vendor, you're going to want to check for a rocket launcher. And hell, actually, you could even get it on the other 2 as well. So if you get a good rocket launcher here, definitely buy it. You'll need at least 1 throughout the run. Though Axton, Gage, Salvador, and I guess kind of Krieg. Well, we'll go over Krieg soon. He's a special case, but at least those 3 you have to get a rocket launcher because it's your main damage. So that's kind of the goal here, and I may have to reset to get at least 1 here just in case, because it's absolutely vital. This will just be to kind of show off what the route is and how to do everything, so it doesn't matter if it's too slow. Now, so see, I really didn't get anything. Nothing in here is going to really give me a decent amount of crit, so we're just going to have to deal without for the moment. Oh, before I forget, I'm going to go over the special cases for that first fight over there. For Krieg and Salvador, it's going to be a little different. Krieg, once you kill that first camp, don't come over here and check the vendor at all. Just save quit afterwards, and you can just run immediately down the hill again, and just come fight this camp without waiting at all, or without coming over here, or anything like that. That's the basic idea. With Krieg, you just kill the first camp once you get the check mark, save quit, and just move into this next fight immediately. But again, I'll have the first couple minutes of each character's gameplay there just to kind of show everything off. Probably linked at the end of the stream here, or the video, excuse me. Alright, so for this fight, you do want to wait for Hammerlock to stop talking here, and then just kind of clear it as quickly as possible. If you have a shield, it definitely helps, and Slag helps even more, so any of the characters with inherent Slag really excel at this early part of the run. Because in UVHM, Slag does triple damage and is absolutely vital, even in a casual run through. So once they're all dead, just save quit here and just continue on. Because this skips the entire process of Claptrap walking up, and pretty much it saves a decent amount of time. Now we're just going to want to kind of run forward with using our Onslaught exploit and come up to Hammerlock. For everyone else, you'd probably want to grenade jump once or twice. So at this point, you're probably not going to have a shield. So you do have to watch your health a little bit. From here, you can kind of grenade jump into the cutscene, and hopefully you'll land over the fence here.
Pleasure to meet you, Voltage.
Any luck?
I am Sir Hammerlock. At your service. I came out here.
I didn't quite make it there, but it's fine. Just kind of grenade jump over there again. Though with Krieg, you can't really make it over there, so otherwise. Okay, nice. So yeah, that's pretty much everything I wanted right there. So we're pretty much set. The one problem with this is that I'm not going to have very much missile speed, and that's because the Torg launcher there had a Torg barrel. So that's a bit of a problem. Save quit once you've gotten the check mark for the eye, and then we'll just kind of make it back up here to Firesburg. Because Hammerlock and Claptrap have a minute to minute and a half long dialogue, that's just absolutely awful to deal with. Alright, from here, you've got everything, just kind of go ahead and set up Infinite Ammo again. And one of the best properties about the Molotov launcher, you can actually unmerge it by merging something in your backpack, which actually does completely unmerge everything. But for some reason, actually still will stay on Infinite Ammo. I couldn't tell you why this works. It doesn't work with any other item that I'm aware of, but it still can. I would hold off on waiting. I would hold off on merging any of your snipers, but now here, what you're going to want to do is check this vendor for a slag grenade of some sort. Basically, slag is vital enough that a slag grenade on almost every character is 100% necessary. Even though a lot have built-in slag, that's pretty much what you're going to want to look for. No matter what. Doesn't look like I got one here. Bouncing Betties and transfusions are the best choices. But other than that, you can use anything else, it doesn't really matter. So from here, you can come kind of check the med vendor and get whatever you need here. However, it doesn't really look like I got what I wanted. Adaptives are good. You either want an adaptive or... Alright, here. I'm just gonna go over what shields you're looking for and in what situations on which character. I'm also gonna go over class mods real quick because that also is very important. So right here, what you're gonna want is on almost everybody, you're gonna want either an adaptive shield or you're gonna want a turtle shield. Turtle shields are gonna offer you much more just raw survivability, but adaptives are gonna keep dots off you a bit better. They're gonna keep you alive for a tiny bit longer, give you a lot more health, things like that. Other than that, it's pretty much your best bet. The exceptions to that are Krieg, because he's going to want a melee shield no matter what. No matter what, you have to have a melee shield on Krieg. Everybody else, it's just kind of get a shield that you like. There's one other kind of exception, which is Maya, and instead of looking for a low recharge delay, you actually want a bit of a higher one, because it helps you proc fleet for a little bit longer. So I really didn't get anything that I really care for, so I'm just gonna buy that one. The capacity is a little low. So kind of weird that one. Now class mods are a different story, because for Axton here, you'd think you want something like a gunner for fire rate, or Tactician maybe for more shield or something like that. Actually, you want Shock Trooper. A Shock Trooper, if it's blue, can have up to two things on it, and it can have both Metal Storm and Onslaught, which would increase your fire rate on kills, and it would increase your movement speed to a really, really high amount. So getting a perfect Shock Trooper is pretty much the best you can ask for. It's not going to happen every time, but with Accident, you're really more looking for the kill, like the extra skills on it than the actual mod itself. So you could use a gunner if it's got, if you don't get anything else, or it has Metal Storm on it still. But other than that, just kind of use what you think is good and what you can find. Maya, you want a cat mod. Killer, like any of the variants really work. It doesn't really matter. Since you're using an SMG, SMG damage is just good. I mean, there's nothing else to say about it. On Zero, you're going to want a Killer, because it's just a bunch of extra crit damage, and crit damage is kind of king, especially since you're already adding a bunch more using your sniper damage. And on Krieg, you're on a sickle mod, because that's melee damage, and he's going to use melee the entire time. So it's just your best option, pretty much. Let's see. Gauge, you want a punk mod, because it gives you fire rate, which is going to be the best option. But with Gauge, you have to be a little bit careful with what launcher you have, because you have to proc the better half, aka it's if you're under half on your magazine, then you can get a fire rate bonus, and you can actually lock that in using infinite ammo. And then got Salvador, where you're probably just going to want a Berserker, though. I mean, anything would really work. He doesn't have anything that's going to really improve him that much better with launchers. That's everybody. Oh, I didn't finish my thought with Gauge, sorry. The punk will actually reduce your mag size, so if you've got a 2 mag launcher, then you're not going to be able to use that with the better half. A 1 is always unusable, no matter what. 2 will be bad if and only if you have a punk. So an anarchist would be better if you have a 2-shot, but otherwise, just definitely go for a punk. That should be everything in terms of that. Yeah, for class mods, that pretty much covers it. So shields, adaptives, and turtles are pretty much your best bets. Class mods, each one has their specific ones that are the most useful. It's just kind of finding what fits you best. So if you didn't get exactly what you wanted, you've got another chance to get a vendor check going here. And since I already have 3 snipers, I pretty much don't need anything else. Jacob's is better because it gives more crit than this Vladov or this Hyperion does, but unless you find something else, it doesn't make a difference. Since these are not Jacob's, you're fine. And now that I see the slag sniper in here too, I do need to mention that a slag sniper on Krieg is really, really good because of their really high chance of slag here. It's 51%. That's every other shot you're pretty much gonna slag somebody. That's pretty good. So slag sniper is your main weapon because of the way melee merges. Because you can merge blades onto your character, but you can only merge up to 3 instead of the full 4. And so a slag sniper like this is going to be your best bet because you can slag a target and then release the beast and just murder everything thanks to that. So definitely look for that on Krieg. That's the special case when you'll want that, to actually use that. Scatterguns are also really good to buy because they're actually going to be slightly higher damage than your Lascaux on certain bosses. Lascaux is probably going to be better if you can just keep a constant metal storm going, but Scattergun is a decent buy. It's a decent pickup to have because it should kill things like the warrior a bit better, other things like that. So from here, we're just going to move into the actual nitty-gritty part of the run, where we actually start moving forward and get onto strategies. Claptrap has 2 main points where you're going to trigger him, up on top of that hill and right over here. But you have to wait for him before you can do this fight anyway. So let's merge our snipers into each other. Which added 160% crit onto this, which already had 100, so it's up to 260. And then let's add that 260 to this Lascaux. So now we've got this launcher, and we've got this go here. And so we're pretty much set. Check our turrets again. And hopefully murder these guys pretty quick. And launcher's a bit slow due to the torque rail, but it does a lot of damage, so it's pretty worthwhile. Just kind of run up here, and again, wait for Claptrap.
I was gonna call it Fist for Brains in honor of you, but that just feels immature. Hey, maybe Butt Stallion? Nah, that's even worse. I'll tell you what, I'll give you some more.
Same type of thing. Your slagging skills or damage skills or whatever, and just start killing. That's for the better.
That's right.
And once these guys start spawning, just spam rockets up there, and you'll probably kill them all pretty quickly. And that's why I kind of mentioned that everybody would actually like a launcher and actually use it pretty well. Because even the characters that don't use launchers for damage at all, aka Maya and Zero, will actually speed up that last 3 enemies right up here really, really quickly. It'll save you a lot of time to have a launcher there to actually murder those.
And open.
So from here, once this bridge comes down, you're just gonna kind of run over the top of these guys. Try not to get hit by both because they do a lot of damage.
I'll go get her.
Do quite a bit.
Here you go. Stallion. Say hello.
Be slightly better to use crits on Little Boom here, and then we're gonna switch to our launcher for Big Boom. But once we'll just chuck out our our turrets for slag. A little bit of damage and a little bit of slag. Hit him in the face. Oops. Make sure you know which buttons everything's on. And then launcher is going to be a bit better here for big build. Ooh, nice. Alright, so there's the bouncing Betty I was talking about earlier. That's a really good find. You can get them from Boom Boom here, but you'll either want that or a transfusion, like I said, because those have the highest slag chances. So I kind of prefer bouncing Betties at this point, so they're pretty good finds. Alright, you want to make sure to come over here and trigger Claptrap. Talks about the gate here. It's a nice adaptive shield too. Wow. Once you hit the gate, just kind of get out. And just kind of run past these guys and hope they don't kill you. There's not much else to do than that. Don't really want to fight them that much. Unless you get down like this. If you do, it's just kind of unfortunate. Once you're up, try and keep your onslaught up as much as possible, and just kind of move on.
Which explains why his men are currently beating the crap out of me, right, guys? Shut up. Okay.
Take off the grenade one at this point because we've got a couple grenade jumps coming up, like this one. Jump over this gate and get backside with our onslaught. Kind of grenade jump up onto here, and then from here, there's a skip that you can skip fighting everything here if you just grenade jump off the top of this little platform up onto the wall up here. It's really tricky. You have to jump pretty well, but it is a pretty big time saver. So you just want to kind of throw it straight down. You can get shot up. At the same time you jump, so they miss it like that. It's great when it happens. These guys do not want me to jump. Go fight turrets. Second. Alright. So, we jump right before it hits the ground to kind of get onto this ledge right here. You can kind of stand up here and then jump onto this. Oh nice, the turret actually killed something. Alrighty. Ideally, you don't want to throw your turret out there because it would help you very much on this fight. But you can just kind of spam lock rockets in there. And eventually you'll kill them off. Oh wow. Alright, that's really good. Random Jacob sniper. Guess I should probably remerge all this for the Flint fight coming up. Since I undid a few there. And again, any fight with Claptrap, you're pretty much going to have to wait for some sort of trigger. So just keep an eye on your map to make sure that you're actually waiting for all the enemies to become fightable. Otherwise, you're just going to have extra people spawn, and it's going to be bad. And it's also smart to, you know, not shoot your turrets. Alright. So now, we've got a little skip here. That'll get us up on top up here. So what you want to do is run across this and jump at the end to land here. Run onto this and jump over here. Careful of the ceiling right here. This. Jump onto this, run up it, up here, and then you're pretty much right on top.
Let's find another way up.
Drop aggro from those guys attacking you.
Find the control.
Let's wait for Claptrap to be ready.
I'll wait here.
Pull him up. Going. If you don't have a slag grenade again, you can check here. Stock up on some nades. But I've got one, so we're good. Plus I've got my turrets, which are pretty much slag grenades anyways. Only a bit better since they actually do damage. Get yourself up here a little bit. Guess I should probably mention that you can jump through that window up there, and it gets you into really good position for this. Kind of wait for Flint to jump down here.
It's a new torture dolls, boys.
And Flint can be a bit of a pain. With slag, he's not too bad. Without slag, can be really, really hard. So I'm gonna kind of do it and then try and explain it afterwards. Kind of the main thought process.
Look out for that thing.
Going a little wrong here. But we should still be able to kill him real quick since he's slagged. I got this launcher. Okay. There's also a manipulation that I'm going to go over here in just a second that I really missed. Simply because it went so wrong there. But this fight is really not that easy if you're undergeared or aren't prepared for it. If you miss this manipulation that I'm talking about, it's pretty much just kill everything as quick as possible. Not really anything else to do. Killing everything is pretty much what's going to trigger Claptrap to start coming, though these Flaming Psychos actually don't have any priority in it, so if you can ignore them, that's pretty much better. So if you'll notice, my main strategy was to try and get him slagged, so I toss one turret out, toss some grenades since I had him, toss my other turret out once he jumped down. Because he's going to jump down really, really quick on you, no matter what you do, if you're in that position. So it's better if you can get down to the bottom and kind of, if you'll notice right here where he jumped down to right around here and then walked forward a little bit. So you kind of want to block him and just kind of be in there with him, just right up next to him as you kind of slowly let him walk backwards onto his actual spot here. And he should slam his axe or pick or whatever he has down to actually try and hit you, and that gives you a little bit more time before he starts walking to kind of get him down to a really close part of health. And for this manipulation that I'm talking about, basically there's no real good way that we figured out that it works yet. It's kind of an enigma and a mystery to everybody, though we're slowly figuring out more and more and more about it, though it's still just confusing. Basically, Claptrap will say is, alright, let's get off this ship dialogue early, and you won't actually have to kill all the enemies, and you can't, or else you'll soft lock the game. It's a really good time saver. It saves 30 seconds or so, and from there it's just kind of hope and pray. But basically the thought is to get him down to really low health right around here, so that when he actually starts walking around this corner, right about when he starts moving this way, because he starts this way and then turns this way, once he turns that way a little bit, to kill him and finish him off. 9 times out of 10, if you start kind of run in this general direction and kind of hover over here, you'll get it. But it is kind of, it's weird. It's weird. So that's the kind of Flint strategy. Without slag, it can get a little harder, unless you're Krieg, in which you're just going to murder him anyways, since you have released the beast. But really, other than that, just you're going to have to get used to the Flint fight and eventually trying to work the manipulation in as best as you can. It's just slag him, do as much damage as possible, and just pray. Otherwise, you know, critting him is in theory better, but if you can't, using a rocket launcher, especially if it's as high damage as this one is, it can actually work pretty well. I probably should have, personally, but anyways, let's continue on for now.
Alright, now we just gotta get to my ship.
On for the moment. Open that chest as you're waiting for BLOODSHOT to come here. Make sure you walk over here with him to make him move again like that. Then you can check. Check first. Luckily we don't need any of that stuff, so they're decent things to find. Just kind of run over here to Claptrap, turn in the quest, and let's move on. Every strategy pretty much works for every character. It's just knowing what your slag abilities are and just kind of using them to your advantage. Though with Maya, you have to be a little careful because Thought Lock will actually trigger his fire phase to go instantly no matter what you do. So you have to be a bit more careful on her because to use your slag if you have none is very risky. Very, very risky. Yeah, just keep Onslaught on as much as possible. Run up here and instantly spam that until you see a check mark, and let's just run right into this camp here.
A man named Scooter controls these catch-a-ride machines. He may be short a few chromosomes, but he's a savant when it comes to people.
Get over here fast enough, and kind of in a safe place. Not about to get pulled by a bunch of bombers. Check this real quick. Want something? Though it is kind of risky because you can get down pretty quick. Grab that as soon as it's available. Running back is about 2 seconds faster than death warping there. Especially if you have movement skills, feats like this, making it a bit better than that. Tactician, we'll buy it for the moment. Not what we want, but that's good for right now. Sell one of these, sell that.
Wait a moment while I hack the catch-a-ride.
And then if you just kind of sit in here and wait, once Scooter starts talking in here, trigger some vendor dialogue there and it'll skip it. Now we'll want to just drive directly to Sanctuary. Since everything has already been unlocked in a different playthrough, we don't have to re-unlock any of the new use or anything like that, so just drive directly to the next objective.
So, unburdened with things like intelligence, culture, morality, honor, ambition, good looks.
This little trick here can be kind of tricky, just to kind of practice it and go slow and be able to get over that. Goal is to kind of run over that wall there and get an animation cancel, because if you're in the air when you get out of the car, you won't see the animation at all, but missing it's very minor.
So you're the one I've been hearing all this radio chatter about. Name's Roman. I used to be a vault hunter, like, until I pulled
Immediately just kind of drive back over here. You can wait a little bit of time just to kind of make sure the Boylongs aren't going to kill your car, because they really can if you're not careful.
Bring Reese back to Sanctuary.
Pick that up instantly, get back in your car, drive on ahead. Animation cancel there. Let's run up to Reese here.
Goddamn bloodshot's, there's too many of them. If anyone can hear me, I need help.
See, you can kind of get onslaught off of actual kills as well. Doesn't really matter. Turrets. Kill everybody as possible. The better, but you can kill them too quick, but doubt it's gonna happen in this category, to be honest. Especially if you can get badasses and ironclads and things that slow you down quite a bit, like that. So, just kind of run up here the minute you talk to Reese, because the Psycho that spawns the power core is going to be right in front of us here. Spawns out of that door right there. He's got kind of plain skinned one. Pick it up. Don't pick it up too early though. Make sure the actual trigger is there and ready for you to pick it up. If you pick it up too early, it's pretty bad. It's as far as I know, it's a hard lock, and it's very bad to get, but whatever. And since we didn't hit any other save than the one that's right there, that death warp brings us right back here. So, it's a really huge time saver to do that death warp, especially since it's insta-kill playing down at the bottom down there. So, you just gotta death warp all the way from over there to over here, and hit the button right as it spawns. It's better to get Onslaught before that door actually opens, but no. Now we're in Sanctuary, now we're ready to go.
Made it to Banditville, huh? Well done.
Up the stairs
nice
here.
To see a friendly face when I'm burning.
This
You're the
guy.
one Commander Roland was talking about. The one who faced Jack and lived. Look, we need your
And wait for him to stop talking, grab the power core, and then just quickly turn in the quest. You don't really need to look at any of the rewards. I mean, you could get a scattergun maybe if you want to actually look for it, but it's
Intel on how to stop
not necessarily worth the time.
Really need your help.
Alright, I do need to talk about this area real quick for a second, because around this line right here, give or take, somewhere around in there is a dialogue that triggers a Hyperion Moonshot Blitz, and you want to not hit it. It's right around this line. You're just gonna have to get used to avoiding it. But if you just kind of go around like this, you're probably not gonna hit it at all. So I didn't hit it there, and we're just gonna want to wait for Jessup to start moving a little bit. He's pretty much RNG. There's not much you can do. Now that he's moving, run right about here, and you'll see this Blitz dialogue happen. And that skips his dialogue and starts this going a bit faster. You can't do it instantly the first time he starts moving, but it's just wait a second or so, and then you can start.
Please find out where Roland's
You can get it.
Oh, crap. Is you Hyperion? I heard all of you were robots and you eat metal out the garbage and stuff. Knew you wired death machines be come for me once Roland went missing. Now, if you're here to kill me, you should probably know. You'll never take me alive, you robotic son bitch! Wait a
Alright.
minute. Ha!
Talk to Scooter,
You gonna help us out with
and then run up to the top of the stairs here.
them Crimson Raider dudes talk about it?
You can check these. Sometimes you'll get something nice out of them.
Plan B.
Most of the time it's just money. Maybe a shield. Lucky. And this will be the first power core you're trying to get. Come down and then get the iridium from him.
You'll need those. Oh, you'll need this iridium here too.
Apparently didn't get out Onslaught there, but doesn't matter. We're just gonna save quit to make it to the center of Sanctuary now. This puts us right back to the start. And since load screens aren't really counted at all in the final time, it really doesn't matter.
Bandits of
Uh,
Sanctuary.
Onslaught
I hear
again.
a Vault Hunter has arrived in your city, so just
First
turn it
one.
into me and you'll be rewarded.
Plug it in. And the
Don't
second
worry,
one.
Nobody's gonna turn
Plug
you
it in.
You're our only hope of stopping Jack.
And we're gonna run over to this third one since we don't actually have to go to Earl since we already. This is not normal mode. And right when you see the check mark, save quit again. Now once we're here, trigger in Onslaught one more time. Oops. That can happen sometimes. Not a big deal. As long as you notice and reclaim them real quick. Talk to him, check for anything you don't have. You know, you could get a better launcher, maybe a sniper that you don't have or something like that. If you really want, you can check for a slag grenade or something like that. But anyways. Kind of get close to here, turn it in,
Hearing this?
run up top,
Right now, you're the only thing
and
standing between this city and hell. This is
that
the
in,
Stronghold.
and save quit. But instead of just kind of continuing like normal here, once you see the warp screen again, you're actually going to want to save quit again. Believe it or not, this is actually going to unlock FROSTBURN Canyon for us, even though it's not supposed to be active, because we've discovered in a previous playthrough of this. So you'll notice when I open this screen, boom, suddenly FROSTBURN Canyon is available. So instead of going to Three Horns Drive and driving all the way over here, you can just fast travel. So that is how the use of the double save quit. We'll be using that for quite a bit of time here. Quite a bit of time. Now we're suddenly right here. Easy. Set up infinite ammo again, which is again just through weapon merging, just like that. Check for something you need. At this point, we're really just looking for... Honestly, we're just looking for a good class mod, and just kind of run through this area with Onslaught. Might get a little damaged sometimes, but as long as you just kind of keep moving, kill only what you need, you should be fine. The goal is to kind of get through this area as quickly as possible without killing hopefully anything. On accident specifically, or maybe even zero to be perfectly honest, a cooldown rate relic is really good to get, so if you can find one of those, definitely look at it. Cooldown rate will actually let you have Onslaught up at all times. A lot of grit procs here. That's really nice.
Of course, if Roland hadn't been such a dumbass in the first place, you would... Whoops. Almost spilled the secret.
You see little tiny enemies, you can also kill them for Onslaught, as you've kind of probably seen me do a few times through the run. But
you know what? I think you deserve a little hint.
turrets are a pretty guaranteed way to do so.
And me laughing.
Got one here. Yep.
I don't die so easy.
Just kind of keep on moving forward.
You fellas meet
Try to
the
stop
mission?
as few times as possible.
This is it.
Since you already are at max level,
Be careful, friend.
there's no need to kill anything, because, you know, experience isn't a thing. That's these guys. And there's a...
Don't let that happen to you.
There's a jump right here. Just kind of jump out on the edge here. And it's kind of a good idea to not have Onslaught with it, because that might happen.
Getting closer and closer to the vaults.
That might happen.
Progress, baby.
Definitely take it slow. I wasn't used to that, so I jumped here instead of here. So basically, you just kind of run out and jump this direction, you know, directly out. Make sure not to hit that wall. And then just kind of air strafe around it. That's the jump and how it's supposed to work there. It's just... doing it with Onslaught can be kind of tricky. Anybody with movement speed buff, if you're not comfortable with it, you can easily fall like I did there. I would have made it had that spike not been there, but I wasn't used to what I was doing there, so just kind of air strafe around it, and you should be good to go. You can always run across the thing normally if you're too scared, but it's a pretty simple jump. It's nothing too bad. And we're in the cutscene.
Sup? How you doing? The bandits call me the Firehawk, but the name's Lilith. I'm with the Raiders, like you. I keep the bandits in line so Roland can focus on taking down Jack.
In this fight, definitely kill these barrels a little early, because you can get kind of trolled by them if you're not careful. A shock and a slag are really not the biggest offenders of that. You can probably leave the slag barrel pretty fine, but Lilith can kind of kill you with them if you're not careful, if you're really low, so it's something to avoid. It's better to just be safe and kind of kill them all. Now you can run back to these vendors over here. You got plenty of time, especially with something like Onslaught or any of the other characters' move speed bonuses. Or with a grenade jump or something like that.
Looking for Roland, huh?
I want in there.
The BLOODSHOT's
Like I said, we're really only looking for a class mod at this point.
came after me this hard.
They're in here! Get 'em!
Now the real fun begins.
Then,
I'll see if I can't phase one.
when you have slag, definitely just kind of try and keep everything as slagged as possible. Throw out your turrets, use your kunai, use your phase lock, etc., etc. Slag is a very, very powerful tool.
Psychos, watch out!
Your main source of damage.
Well done! Hell yeah! Nice shot! We got psychos incoming!
Most of the people that actually have slag as
Nice shot.
their base are the fast characters, so.
Heads up, badasses!
It's just very, very important. There we go. Badasses are dead. They'll spawn from over here.
This ain't over yet!
Just kinda
They found another way
Grenade
in!
out!
kill these guys. This is a two-part fight. This one's slightly more enemies,
Hell yeah!
but it's
Well done.
it's the same idea.
Hell yeah!
Meet my lady friend.
Turret, check turret. Sometimes you can get kind of unlucky with ironclads though, because they're so beefy just in the grand scheme of things. You do want to be careful about those a little bit.
Badass psychos.
I have a couple turrets. Ow.
That's right.
And we should be good here. Okay. Alright, once these dead, you can pretty much just run over to this, grab it, and just run over to Lilith
Yeah,
here.
that's the stuff.
Give it here. Thanks.
For me, there's not much to do. Just kind of wait for her to stop talking. And I guess you could loot if you think you got something good.
Yeah. Since the vault
Outside of that, there's not much to do.
Awesome.
Just kind of wait for her to give you the quest to turn in. Once you turn it in, save, quit,
Now let's talk about
and you're pretty much good to go. This warps you back to the start of the area, since that's where the fast travel is. And then you'll just want to travel directly to Three Horns Valley. Right here. This is the closest place to where we're going, and it's faster just to run down to the catch a ride than to actually than it is to actually drive all the way here.
Sentry deployed.
Get the car. Once you get the check mark, you can kind of honk, and as long as you've seen 2 check marks or hear the double check mark, then just go ahead and save quit. And this is another double save quit. This will get us into the dust instantly. And even though this fast travel is unpowered, you can use it. Just go directly to the dust. Once the cutscene actually starts, you can save quit again to skip that. If you don't want to watch cutscenes in a speedrun, come on. Talk to Ellie real quick. Save quit through a dialogue so that the cars are immediately killable and we don't have to wait for her to actually give us the check mark. Again, because load screens cost us no time, or at least almost none. Then you can kind of run over here and grab a car. Thanks to UVHM, these cars are really not a big deal. Just just kind of kill 5 of them in a row. No big deal.
Just finished prepping my truck for those bandit parts.
This next area's cars can take a while to spawn. It seems like it's random. It might be something to do with an enemy limit within the game. They just sometimes don't spawn at the right speed.
Almost got a bandit car.
Just gotta kill them as they spawn.
Whatever the bloodshots dish out, but I generally don't like letting them get tortured any longer than I have to.
Last car should be right here. And just save good back to Ellie. Turn to Ellie. And if you really want, if you're really low on things, you can kind of come over here and check. Nothing I really want there. What did I get from... Okay. Still the technical once it's available, and then immediately you can create it, even though Ellie says that you can't. Just instantly get in, grab a barrel technical because it's the fastest, and then pretty much from there just kind of boost all the way up to here. Off to Bad Ma. Here, you want to get infinite ammo back again.
Let him in while I try to get Hyperion. Get back on the horn.
I'm gonna need crits eventually for Warden, so actually, Scattergun, I think. Gotta kill your car for Onslaught, and yes, that does work.
We got an intruder! Get him, Bad Mom!
You can, if anybody has a kill skill that gives them movement speed, it'll work here. You can kill a car to get it at any point in time. Tucker Slag and Bad Ma here. And then just kind of murder via whatever methods the character employs. If you're a crit character, definitely want to hit his face as much as possible, kind of move behind him. Ooh, that might be tricky. Because you're going to have an extra large amount of crit. Once we're in here, we're going to do the bloodshot skip. I do have a tutorial for the super skip already, so I'm not going to go too heavily in depth with it.
Make sure nothing happens.
So anything you don't need, definitely check for something you want, which I'm really not getting. Cat mod, that's the one for Maya there. Make sure your grenade mod is off at this point.
Say hello, darling.
And we'll run up to the super skip section. Because we have so many grenades, it's a lot more worth it to go for it. Sometimes they're annoying. However, I would recommend in this playthrough to go via this method, and actually I'd recommend coming back up here anyways. Get out of bounds, because you can get out of bounds right there, but the grenade jumps there are a little bit harder. Just kind of may jump up here, just like that. Something to definitely practice, and then run across here.
Turret deployed.
And we'll go do super skip. So, toss the grenade up here, and make it on top of the pipe. There is a more in-depth explanation of what I'm doing, but I'm not going to go into that quite yet. So, it's a double jump to get all the way up here. The timing is around 3 seconds-ish. You can also time it with 3 perfect melees. It does have to be perfect though, so it's basically you chuck the grenade, and the first moment you're able to each of these, which is the minute your like weapon resets. If you'll notice, it goes down, up. My launcher's going down, up, down, up, down, up. So it's just melee, melee, melee. Right as it comes up each time. That's the best way to time that. And you can just jump down to Roland all the way from up here. Really good skip. Definitely check out the tutorial for that. If you're looking for more in-depth explanation for it. But that's just kind of the
Good to
route you want to take for that.
Hell of a job fighting through those bloodshots.
Especially since you have so many grenades. You're typically only going to have 10, but I did find a relic with about 3 extra grenades on it. That gives me even more chances. But, basically, the other way is to just turn right instead of going onto the pipe and just keep going straight until you get out of bounds in a slightly different area, which I guess I should show off here. Those of you that don't want to learn that. I'll go back and do that right after here. Just kind of show it off. So right after I finish Warden here. Yeah. Right after this is when I'll show it off.
Stop this damn thing!
That boss taking Roland at the top part. Stop them before
Keep your
they
onslaught up. Other movement speed skills. You can do a grenade jump over here. I wasn't really in a good position for it, but we'll do it anyways.
didn't send Wilhelm, did he? Please
Saves us very minor amount of time. Oh, grenade jump up here too. Not used to doing it with onslaught at the moment. Probably just should not have onslaught at that point.
I'm hearing more gunfire.
Perfectly honest.
I'm still waiting for a response from my period. Oh, okay. All right, $20 for Roland. That's my final offer.
Keep on moving, Doors. Sorry. The baddest that's about to spawn here, you ideally want to run away from him and not have to fight him, but he can be kind of mean and kill you. So definitely do your best to kind of avoid shots. Do this grenade jump here, cross it onto this, and if you have another grenade left, jump on top like this, of this invisible wall, or you can also run around the edge there. Alright. Now for Warden, it's gonna be basically just kind of crit him in the face. Because we have so much bonus crit damage on him. And from here, we just want to run over to hit this save like this, and immediately as you see that, just go ahead and save quit. Now you'll want to run right over here and turn this into Roland and a save quit one more time. Now just travel to Sanctuary. The Sanctuary is where you're normally going to go here, but I'm just going to go back and show you the other way to get through BLOODSHOT Stronghold as the backup. It takes way less grenades. It only takes about 2 here, but it's good to know this version, not just the super skip, because it is a backup for you. So I did not get infinite ammo. That's fine. That's fine. Hang on. this again. Get out of here. They really like to walk your way into that area sometimes. It's really annoying. Really annoying. So you do want to watch out for anyone going to be in the door there. Just go around. Dagger them over here. We'll want to get out of bounds again. And same basic idea. Jump on top of that. Run over here.
Deploying sentry.
And you'll want to go this way instead. All of this is solid. The center of this grate is not solid, so you want to kind of jump over and around that. Everything else is pretty much solid. Onto this, jump up here, and then right here. This is the big issue, because if you'll notice where this is, that is the rats area, which is completely locked off, and if you fall in, you're stuck. You have to kill yourself or save quit. There's no other options really. So what I'm aiming for is that little line right there, in between this line, because that's a wall, and about there. So you just kind of aim for right about here. So kind of run and sprint towards the edge here and just land right on this, because otherwise you fall in and it's bad. So then you can just kind of run right on top of this. And just kind of grenade jump onto this. That's solid. Just kind of jump up there. This wall is not, and that's how you get back in bounds. Up there is where Roland is, and that's the basic idea for the backup for the super skip. So you have grenades. It's up to you whether you want to do it or not, but I would recommend it more so in UVHM than any other. Alright. Now let's go to Sanctuary to actually continue. Anytime you're coming back to Roland here, make sure you grenade jump onto this. And because it's easier than just jumping onto this directly.
He means high.
It's a little lower, and then you can just kind of run and jump from over there instead of having to run all the way up to here. You can check this if you still need some things. Check either of them if you still need a few things here and there. Since I really don't need anything, let's just go ahead and save quit again. And this is going to be another double save quit to get us into Tundra Express. So, here you'll want to be at the farmhouse, not actually at Tundra Express, so just kind of go ahead and go there. This is really close to Varkid, so it's a really good place to save quit to and from through this area. Pretty much the best you can have. Get that.
The sound of some Varkids burning alive at the same time ought to do it. You got a fire gun, right?
Just kind of want to run past this tower, hit the button. That, once you see the check mark, just go ahead and save quit. We don't want to watch the cutscene. It's pretty slow. Long. Next, we're going directly to Tina. So again, this box, run up the ladder. Start getting onslaught or your respective move skill now. Grenade jumping is also an acceptable option.
Turret out!
For some, you can only really grenade jump. Like, Gauge, you're really not going to be killing enough things to get
Tina's a bomb maker.
boost speed off of that.
You're missing the fun.
And Krieg, really, you'd have to rely on Release the Beast. You want to make sure you're grenade jumping into this cutscene because it's pretty much just free time since you continue moving in the cutscene.
Goes the bandit.
talk to her and get the check mark, save quit again. Here, just run right over to the Badonkadonks.
Want to meet my girlfriend? Now you be careful, honey.
Just kind of take a straight line there unless you need grenades to move. Even though grenades really only save about a second on flat ground. So it might be better just to go directly here no matter what you do. To be perfectly honest. Straight lines are pretty much your best friends. Got both those, save quit one more time. Last time we will for this area. Corpses back to the farmhouse one more time. And back to Cena. Argentina, make sure you're out of her shop here before she actually yells at you. Other than that, this is just kind of your place to set up infinite ammo again and merging. Because at this point, you're kind of gearing up for the Wilhelm fight. You want your crit weapon and definitely get all your snipers on there. Especially if crit is your damage, aka Maya and Zero. Well, I guess everybody needs a crit weapon for this section. Outside of Krieg. It's just whether it's the Let's Go or a Jacob Scattergun, it really doesn't matter.
Oh, damn, you looking good, ladies.
Say hello, sweetie.
That's right. Twin sisters, man. Oh, take 'em. Take 'em, take 'em, take 'em, take 'em.
Say hello, darling. Chew 'em up, honey.
From here, jump on top of this. You have a railing there. You can also grenade jump up the ladder. Oh, you can get almost all the way up to the top if you do it well.
Just poke their bellies when you want me to set the explosives off. I gotta do it remotely.
Ready?
Son, I hear that terrain coming.
Ooh, cooldown rate. That was what I was looking for there. Now I'm gonna be able to have Onslaught a little bit more. It's also gonna be good on Zero for Deception. It's also, I guess it's good on Maya, though you'd probably want something else. I mean, bullets are always minor in a run. They're nothing that you should super care about or waste time getting. But, no. You can go there instantly because it's only active to prevent the soft lock that's possible in
Search the train cars. They're probably keeping the bulky and the most fortified one.
in patch 1.1. That was patched pretty quickly.
Hey, stand in front of it.
And we'll switch over here. We'll get our Slagnade on again. We run past these guys pretty well.
Don't worry,
And now we're gonna wanna
The vault key, it wouldn't be on a train. He'd have
Say
Wilhelm
hello,
guard it.
beautiful.
always slag at Wilhelm as possible.
It's a trap!
He needs to die. Read that for some extra gun damage. Onslaught also does that.
Roland is wrong about
It's
hunting.
kind of spam spinning you.
Wilhelm, I
Kind of pain.
promise you.
Yeah, just kind of crit him in the butt there, and then you're pretty much gonna kill. He's not too hard.
Jack doesn't stand a chance.
Wilhelm dropped a power core. Be sure to grab it. My sensors tell me it's one.
Alright, once you pick up the power core, you kind of go ahead and save quit. Check this if you really need anything. Doesn't really look like I got something useful, and we can just kind of go directly to Sanctuary. Sanctuary should be the first thing highlighted, no matter what you do. So you can pretty much just
defeated the other vault hunters a couple of years ago. You have proven yourself
mash
to be
enter right when you
stronger than them. Well done.
choose that, and you should just go straight there. Sometimes it's not. I've had it mess up before. Send me into a DLC, but it should be fun. Most of the time, it's okay.
Hey, stand in front of this.
Once you put the power core in here, you can go ahead and just instantly save quit.
Autogun deployed.
And it's just kind of completing areas like normal here.
Flacco, the ignition primers. Shoot, it'll get us somewhere. Alright, I got this one. All you gotta do is hit the last switch.
Sentry deployed.
Right here, you're gonna want to rush up to Roland because there's actually some dialogue skips you can get. You have time to check this, but it's really only if you need something. If you get here before
Don't worry about me.
this dialogue right here, where he's talking about being pinned, you can do that. It'll just skip and let you grab that early, and then you can save quit out. This might increase your volume a lot for the explosions, so be careful.
Now you be careful, honey.
Always turn your volume down using Windows volume and not the game volume, or it might be actually louder for some reason because this game works well. And then you can just kind of give low theory in there. Having this gives you a second chance to check here if there's something you want. And I don't need many in terms of weapons, but it's nice to be able to check it twice. Save quit out once you get the check mark. Pretty good.
Say hello, darling.
I know you're angry at me right now, but we don't have a lot of time.
Again, grab the barrel technical because it's the fastest car.
Fridge.
Must drive directly there.
Just up and trusted Angel. Never occurred to you that she was working for me, did it? I did the same thing to the last 4 Vault Hunters, but I'll be entirely honest. Tricking you guys this time? Way funnier.
Drive up to the fridge here.
Taking the bait and grabbing that power core. It was hard to
We'll start skipping some areas here with some double save quits.
attacking my iridium mines.
You'll be able to reconnect with your friends after you get through the bridge.
Go for an animation cancel there
Hurry out.
and kind of run the quest. Don't get infinite ammo here. There's really nothing good to do here while we wait. Just gotta wait for the door to open, and we'll be careful. This fire will actually last a lot longer than it visually shows,
Tossing the little lady.
so you might get set on fire a little. Not careful. Alright, so when you first get in here, wait for that to kind of get up.
Buy from me if
and you can kind of look for anything right here. Once it actually does that and fully opens, go ahead and save quit. This is going to let us get into next area. We don't have to deal with the fridge at all. Easy. Done. We're good. So kind of check it one more time. You never know when you might find something else really good. And then you can just kind of leave to outwash. Again, kind of check. A lot of save quitting, a lot of waiting for everything to catch up to you. But now you'll want to get infinite ammo.
Awesome. Hey, killer.
And actually get all your
The city? Big deal. Find a way back here as quick as you can.
all your merges done.
Now that Sanctuary's reappeared, you can use any fast travel station to get back to the Crimson Raiders. I'll mark the nearest one on your Echo device.
Error. Location.
Right.
You be careful, honey.
Now we can't do anything save quitting here, but we'll just have to kind of
The phase blast must have taken Sanctuary
Run
off the
past.
fast travel network. Okay. Head to the iridium extraction plant nearby. I think I know how to get you back to your friends. You know, I
grenade jump you can do here onto this. That saves
Boy, sentry.
a couple seconds, not really any. Check the chest here.
defeated them long ago. They
Not really
can
anything I'm looking for.
But if you can cross the river
So
and
getting
send a supply
an
train
onslaught mod or a
Sanctuary
Battlestorm mod really does help quite a bit.
little as I'm sure that
And actually, I do need to talk about this skip coming up because this is another difference between Krieg and the next skip, and I also have to go through Krieg skip here eventually because that is important. I'll go through that here eventually. That'll probably be another thing that's on the very end of this run, now that I think about it, for BLOODSHOT. Because I got to do that. But anyways. So basically, everybody but Krieg, you're going to jump from here onto that, and then that onto that. But for Krieg, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to run to about here, jump off, climb up the ladder, and just run across the bridge. You should make it every time. The exploders are not really that fast. But it can be kind of tricky sometimes. Just want to do a grenade jump here, onto this, and then a grenade jump up here. I jumped a little early there. Here we go. Much better. Much better. The last jump's harder than the first one. Just make sure you actually make it up here. So Krieg is just gonna want to climb up that ladder right there and run across as quick as possible. You'll probably make it to about there by the time he blows it up, and you'll just kind of fall onto this side. Otherwise, you have to ride the platform, and that one's really slow. So. Flag the Thresher as soon as possible. Since he has no shield yet, you can kind of do quite a bit of health damage. Kill him, pick up the beacon, and then save quit. This is going to be the final double save quit of the run. So even though Overlook doesn't have a fast travel beacon, we can still go there. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. And voila! We're off to Overlook. I do have another tutorial for this area as well. It's not a very fun one in speedrunning. Very hard to optimize. Definitely check that out. Because I really don't have the time or patience to do that on this one. Oh, whoops. Just deploy that, and then the basic idea is that
it's transmitting the supply request now.
there are time-based triggers that if you miss them or do them too early, you're gonna be in
Stop
trouble,
pretending to help the bad guys now.
no matter what you do. So you want
We don't
make
have
sure
long
that
until Jack realizes I'm
you
not
don't kill
helping
everything
him.
too fast or too slow here.
Want to meet my girlfriend?
So definitely be watching your timer closely.
I forgot who's gonna die.
This first area breaks though, where it doesn't actually send any enemies at you. That's fine. Everything after that is not nearly as fine.
Various labs from the first and this is her life in choosing which one to keep.
This area is also really hard in this because they didn't scale up the beacon at all, so they can die pretty badly. Always better to
Uncalibrated
break the first one,
station request received.
but not the next
Estimated
couple.
processing time 3 to 6 weeks. No. Move some data around. See if I can bump you up the queue.
Angel, what the hell are you doing?
I've increased your request's priority. T-Bone Junction can live without medical supplies for another few
Once
months.
this dialogue happens, this is where you need to be worried about your time and how long you're taking. And whether you can actually kill the mortars or not. They can seriously mess up your beacon. So a normal run is going to have you repairing it a few times no matter what you do. So it's more often than not you're just going to be dealing with damage control here and just kind of hoping against hope that they're not just gonna murder everything. Looks like the area broke for me. This is a minute slower, just about 30 minutes to, or 30 seconds to a minute slower. Not a huge deal. I feel like it's probably something to do with the beacon going down, because that does some weird things to the timing. But
Almost upon us. Mandatory tickets will be sent to each household next month.
Cut. Darn it.
alright,
The
once you get this
lunar
one, this
denied our
is the
request.
next
I'll see what I can do.
next area.
I want those
The biggest problem here is going too slow. So, it's almost never going to go too fast.
You can never be too well armed.
Though it is possible. Oops. I can't shoot past this guy.
Who's next, huh?
Hyperion reminds me.
Oh, I'm stuck.
Authorized location
Wow. Hang on.
loaded with a one-way trip to the grinder.
I got this guy stuck on my turret.
On the move!
May not have been the best idea. Well, now he's really stuck.
Who's next, huh?
It's like this area broke for me too. Because... Nope, never mind. This guy's just being annoying.
Hyperion wishes
And I couldn't actually see him because he wasn't aggroed on me. It broke because of that guy being dumb. Oh well. So yeah, that's an example of a bad, what you're not supposed to do here. Examples of things not to do. This one takes a really long time, so it's really good not to do it. It just kind of shows how dumb the area can be. I mean, you can lose all this time for pretty much no reason. It's absolutely awful most of the time. So, more or less, this is the bane of every speedrunner's existence. Learning this one correctly is absolutely vital to doing well in the run. So, no matter what you do, no matter how much you actually want to run this, learn this area. Because otherwise you're gonna run out of... You're gonna lose time to do it over and over and over. And it's gonna be awful. And you're not gonna understand why. So I recommend very heavily to research this area so that kind of stuff doesn't happen. So as you can see, I wasted pretty close to 2 minutes there. If not more. I got both of the battles. Definitely be careful. This one you really don't have to worry about. It doesn't do much for you if you kill him early or late or whatever. It takes about the same amount of time no matter what you do. And once this lands, just go directly to Sanctuary, and we'll be good. Alright. Here, just kind of come back up here to Roland. And next section will be Bloodwing. But I think I'm gonna make this a 2-part series, actually. 2-part tutorial. Kind of have the game split up, but kind of the halfway point. Kind of the end of the mid-game into the late game being the second video. That way you don't have to search through a 2.5 hour long video to find exactly what you want. Just kind of get everything going from there. And this is the end of the double save bits, so I think that'll be good for this one. Definitely look out for the next part of this. I will have that up easily by tomorrow. I just need to actually go ahead and get that done. This one will go up today. Next one will be up by tomorrow. And we'll be pretty good. Right, I will add the Krieg Bloodshot skip to the end of this. I will also add the other players' perspectives, the other characters' beginnings, for all of you to kind of watch what you're supposed to do at the start for everybody. And then from there, we'll start next time on Bloodwing. So, thank you for watching so far. Hope this is helping everybody. Definitely check out my other tutorials if you're having trouble with some of the things in here. And see you guys next time. Alright, and here I'm going to show off the Krieg version of the Bloodshot skip here. A different character. But that's not going to change anything.
I'm losing blood. Give me yours.
All that really matters is that I'm able to execute these correctly, which we'll be able to do pretty easily here. So it is a little different. The other one has to go up on this side because Kree cannot make very many grenades. This can kind of line up with this little line here. You didn't do that. Get that. Like this. Up onto this right here because that's as high as you can get. That. That. Then jump in there. Then you want to jump onto this little platform here. Because you can't actually get up here from anything else. You have to actually be on top of this. And once you get right around here, toss a grenade down. About there. You'll make it right across here. Doesn't look like you'll be able to, but you can. All this is possible. And crouch under here. Careful of this not solid thing again. Same as the backup earlier. And then instead of jumping up right here, you're gonna have to go back over here just a little bit. Jump on top of this little platform, this little platform. Then we'll do a grenade jump across here. And then you can jump inbounds right about here. You can see you can kind of poke your head out right there. So that is the Krieg version of the skip. And that should be good. Alright. Right now, I'm going to show off all 6 characters' beginnings, other than Axton, since they've already gone through it, to kind of show you what's different between all of them, and kind of what you're looking for at the start. For Salvador here, you pretty much want just to kind of skip the first fight, make it over, and check for a launcher, because otherwise you're pretty much not going to do the damage you need to.
Just arrived in Liarsburg. Oh, and I'm still offering a reward for... Spectacular! First Captain Flint's bandits attack. Then Claptrap shows up. I've been horrifyingly cruel to puppies in a previous life to deserve this kind of treatment. I say, Vault Hunter, could you kill Flint's men for me? Got a proposition for you, Vault Hunter. You give up, we'll just shoot you in the head. And a hell of a lot less painful than one handsome jackal. Ding dong! Oh no! Cooling on!
Whenever you're ready, buddy. Keep your wits about you, minion. This glacier's run by a bandit named Captain Flint. The jerk kept me as his torture plaything for a few months. We played games like and I was really good at the first one.
Attention, people of Pandora. Handsome Jack here, offering $1 million to whoever brings me the head of the Vault Hunter who just arrived in Liarsburg. Oh, and I'm still offering a reward for Roland, the mass murdering leader of the Crimson Raiders. Good hunting, bandits.
$1 million bucks? All right, boys, this is Captain Flint. I want you to find that Vault Hunter and bring him to me now!
Hey, Hammerlock!
Now, Reef.
Spectacular! First, Captain Flint's bandits attack. The Claptrap shows up. I must have been horrifyingly cruel to puppies in a previous life to deserve this kind of treatment. I say, Vault Hunter, could you kill Flint's men for me?
Stay still.
What is wrong with you, boy? Got a proposition for you, Vault Hunter. You give up, we'll just shoot you in the head.
Oh no! Bulldogs!
No!
We're here! Keep your wits about you, minion. This glacier's run by a bandit named Captain Flint. The jerk kept me as his torture plaything for a few months. We played games like
Goodbye.
and don't get dunked into the pool. I was
Attention, people of Pandora. Handsome Jack here, offering $1 million to whoever brings me the head of the Vault Hunter who just arrived in Liarsburg. Oh, and I'm still offering a reward for Roland, the mass murdering leader of the Crimson Raiders. Good hunting, bandits.
$1 million bucks? All right, boys, this is Captain Flint. I want you to find that Vault Hunter and bring him to me now!
Guns, glorious guns. May it your
Hey, Hammerlock!
Spectacular! First, Captain Flint's bandits attack, then Claptrap shows up. I must have been horrifyingly cruel to puppies in a previous life to deserve this kind of treatment. I say, Vault Hunter, could you kill Flint's men for me?
time.
What is wrong? Got a proposition for you, Vault Hunter. You give up, we'll just shoot you in the head. You'll be pretty pleased, and a hell of a lot less.
Oh no! Bulldogs! ¡Vámonos, minion! ¡Arriba, arriba! Keep your wits about you, minion. This glacier's run by a bandit named Captain Flint. The jerk kept me as his torture plaything for a few months. We played games like Dodge the Torch.
Attention, people of Pandora. Handsome Jack here, offering $1 million to whoever brings me the head of the Vault Hunter who just arrived in Liarsburg.
Rampage and heal.
And I'm
Heal
still
and
offering a reward
rampage.
for Roland, the mass murdering leader of the Crimson Raiders. Good hunting, bandit.
This is thirsty!
Got a proposition for you, Vault Hunter. You give up, we'll just shoot you in the head. That's a hell of a lot less painful. Handsome tackles.
Beautiful misery. I told you what would happen. It hurts.
Please stay back, Vault Hunter.
Agent heal! Heal and rampage!
Apologies, but when Claptrap speaks, I feel my brain cells committing suicide one by one. I shall be out directly.
A pleasure to meet you, Vault Hunter. I am Sir Hammerlock.
The thing about Creek here, I do want to actually mention something, is that you want bladed weapons here in the vendor. This is the first check you get, and you really need bladed weapons, because you'll notice both the... I already have two of them. You start with them on purpose, because you merge everything but your main hand into your actual melee damage. So you want either a slag sniper, slag weapon in general, launcher, or you want a melee weapon. Anything of that sort. Which is why I'm including this footage here.
Vámonos, minion! Arriba, arriba! Keep your wits about you, minion. This glacier's run by a bandit. The jerk kept me as his torture plaything for a few months. We play games like Blowtorch and don't get dunked into the pool of acid. It was really good the first time.
Attention, people of Pandora. Handsome Jack here, offering $1 million to whoever brings me the head of the Vault Hunter who just arrived in Liarsburg. Oh, and I'm still offering a reward for Roland, the mass murdering leader of the Crimson Raiders. Good hunting, bandits.
$1 million bucks? All right, boys, this is Captain Flint. I want you to find that Vault Hunter and bring him to me now!
Guns! I got them.
Hey, Overlook!
A pleasure. Always.
Spectacular! First Captain Flint's bandits attack, Claptrap shows up. I must have been horrifyingly cruel to puppies in a previous life. Deserve this kind of treatment. I say, Vault Hunter, could you kill Flint's men for me?